All right, thank you, counsel. You may proceed. Peoples 32.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I approach?
You may.
Ms. Crawford, showing you what has been marked as Peoples 32. Do you recognize the handwriting on the front of this envelope?
Yeah, that's my handwriting.
Do you recognize, is this the handwriting that you put on this envelope on the night of June the 12th, 1994?
Yes.
And it says prescription glasses, Nicole Simpson, will pick up Monday?
Yes.
Now, looking inside the envelope, can you see the glasses that are inside?
Yes.
Do you recognize those?
Yes.
How do you recognize them?
Well, they look like the glasses I picked up off the street.
And this is the envelope that you placed behind the bar?
Yes.
Now, after you had that conversation with Mrs. Brown, and you placed the envelope behind you at the bar, did you get another phone call?
Yes.
About how long after the first phone call did you get the second phone call?
About 5 minutes.
Would you estimate then about 9:45?
Yes.
Did you recognize the person who called you?
Yes, I did.
Who was that?
It was Nicole.
Nicole?
Yes.
And where were you in the restaurant when you got that call?
I was standing near the bar. Both of our phones are on the bar, so I was at either one end or the other.
And you had a conversation with Nicole?
Yes.
Was it concerning the glasses?
Yes.
Did she ask you to do something with respect to those glasses?
She told me... Well, can you repeat that?
Yeah. Did she ask you to do something with those glasses?
No, she asked if she could speak to Ron, but she didn't tell me what to do with the glasses.
Okay. Ron Goldman?
Yes.
And did you then speak to Ron Goldman?
Yes.
What did you do?
I went over to where he was sitting and I told him that he had a phone call.
Did he speak on the phone?
He did, yes.
Could you hear what he was saying?
No, I didn't hear exactly what he was saying, no.
But you could tell he was speaking?
Yes.
Now, when he came over to take the phone, was he still wearing his waiter's uniform?
No, he wasn't.
How did he look different?
He had taken his vest and his tie off.
Other than that, what was he wearing?
He was wearing black pants and white up on top.
White dress shirt?
Yeah.
So he was still wearing that much of the uniform?
Yes.
Now, after he spoke for a while on the phone, what did he do?
He hung around for a couple of minutes, and then he asked me to give him the glasses, and I did.
What has been marked as People's 30. White dress shirt. And what appears to be a black pair of dress pants. Do you recognize what we're showing you here?
Yes.
What is it?
It's Ron's shirt and pants. Yeah. No, okay.
After he hung up the phone, Did Ron say something to you?
Yeah, he told me he was going to drop the glasses off at Nicole's.
Did he tell you it was on his way to somewhere?
He was on his way to meet a couple of guys from work at Baja Cantina.
And do you know where Baja Cantina is?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in Marina del Rey.
So did you give him the envelope with the glasses?
Yes.
Did you see him leave the restaurant at some point?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall about what time it was?
He left at about 10 minutes to 10.
Do you recall what exit he left through?
He left through the side exit that goes out onto Gorham.
Do you recall who was tending bar that night?
Stuart was tending bar.
Stuart Tanner?
Yes.
And you recall seeing Ron actually leave the restaurant at 10 minutes to 10?
Yeah, I saw him walk out the door.
And was that the last time you saw him?
Yes.
Your Honor, this is a time card that has to be marked Peoples 36.
All right, People's 36 time card.
You can see it on your monitor. Okay. Do you recognize what's being shown there?
Yes, it's a time card.
All right. And is that Ron Goldman's time card?
Yes.
And that's for the week ending June the 12th?
Yes.
Can you see Sunday, June the 12th indicated on that card?
Yes.
And it shows that he came in what time?
He came in at 4:30.
And that he clocked out at what time?
He clocked out at 9:33.
Then he was hanging around the restaurant for a while before he actually left when you saw him leave at about 9:50.
Yes.
Just going to show you one more picture.
At this moment?
As soon as they fix this.
All right.
Okay, Ms. Crawford, do you recognize what's being depicted in this photograph?
It's an envelope.
Does it appear to be the same envelope that you placed the glasses of Mrs. Brown in on the night of June the 12th and that you gave to Ron Goldman to take to Nicole?
It looks like it, yes.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Yes. And All right, thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Clark, have you concluded your examination of Ms. Crawford?
Yes, Your Honor, I've concluded direct.
Mr. Shapiro?
Your Honor, I wonder if we're done with the exhibits, if we could just have Ms. Clark retrieve those. There are some
Yes.
photographs that I'm not going to need, and also the envelope that I will not need.
All right, why don't you retrieve that, Ms. Clark? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Crawford.
Hi.
I have to ask you a few questions, and I will not ask you any questions that upset you. The documents that you were shown by Ms. Clark, specifically the check for dinner,
Yes.
when is the first time you've seen that?
When is the first time I've seen it?
Yes.
I believe today.
And where did you see it?
Where did I see it? I saw it here.
And the receipt for the payment of the bill, when is the first time you saw that?
Today.
And where did you see it?
Here.
And the time card, when is the first time you saw that?
I may have seen it earlier in the week of the week ending June 12th. I added them up on June 12th.
So that one you had seen before.
Yes.
In adding up that time card for Mr. Goldman, did you notice anything that was incorrect on the time card?
Well, I see where I had added it up in one section, and it had been re-added again.
Did you also see that on one date there was a time that there was a stamped in for work but no stamping out of work?
I don't remember noticing that.
You don't remember noticing that? May I borrow the exhibit for a moment, Your Honor? May I approach the witness?
You may. This is People's 36.
Was there an indication as to whether or not Wednesday was a working day?
Wednesday. Well, there's a stamp in, and I don't know exactly whether or not he worked that day. Maybe someone accidentally punched in on his time card and realized that it was not their card. That's a possibility. Maybe he punched in and they didn't need him and he just left and he didn't punch out. Maybe he was just there for a few minutes. I can't tell you for sure what that is. He may have worked and forgotten to punch out.
Do you have any personal knowledge that the times on that time punch machine were accurate on June the 12th?
Can you repeat that? Do I have personal knowledge of what?
When you put that card in, it goes into a machine. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that machine indicates a time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have any personal information as to whether or not that machine was accurately recording the times on June the 12th?
No.
When you got the phone call from Mrs. Judith Brown, had you ever talked to her on the phone before?
I don't believe I'd ever talked to her on the phone, no.
And Nicole Brown Simpson, had you ever talked to her on the phone before?
I don't remember if I had or not, no.
You say she was a regular at the restaurant.
Yes.
How often would she come in?
Well, in the course of a year, I'd seen her about 4 times. And I would consider that to be regular. I'd heard of other times she had been in on nights that I hadn't worked.
On this particular night when you were the manager, did you see her greet Ron Goldman when she and her party arrived at the Mezzaluna restaurant?
Yes.
And how did she greet him?
I just think she said hello. And I'm not sure exactly what she did.
Did they hug?
They may have.
Did they kiss?
I don't think so, no.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
When you went to get Ron Goldman, that was at the request of Nicole.
Yes.
And where was Ron when you went to get him?
He was sitting at the first table by the front door.
And what was he doing?
He was sitting talking to the two other managers,
Who are they?
John and Richard.
Did you previously testify that they were all having dinner together?
I don't think so. John and Richard were having dinner.
You indicated they were having dinner and Mr. Goldman was with them?
Yeah, I think he went over there just for a couple of minutes to hang out.
Did you see Mr. Goldman eat at all that evening?
No, I didn't.
May I just have one moment, Your Honor? Transcript of previous testimony by Karen Lee Crawford, cross-examination by myself. It's page 12. However, again, I have underlined it. I wonder if the district attorney would object to me showing this or would like another copy to be shown to the witness. Page 12. No. May I approach the witness, Your Honor? Thank you very much. Ms. Crawford, would you just take a moment to review your testimony previously given? And I want to direct you to line 22 through line 28, please.
Yes?
Do you recall being asked the following questions by me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, let me give you the questions, okay?
Well, objection. The witness is being asked to refresh her memory. Counsel doesn't need to read the record. She just refreshed her memory, and now she can testify to what counsel wants.
Overruled. Mr. Shapiro.
Yes, were you asked the following question? When you went to call Ron Goldman to the phone, where was he? Answer, he was sitting at table 101, which is the very first table to the left of the front entrance. Question, who was he with, if anyone? Answer, he was sitting with John and Richard. John DeBello, the manager, and Richard Arbolino. Question, what were they doing? Answer, they were having dinner. Do you recall being asked those questions and giving those answers?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Clark? Redirect.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Crawford, is yourself and the waiters, are they all paid by the hour?
Yes.
So the hours that you're paid for are measured by the time clock,
Yes.
the one you punch in and out of.
Yes.
And so minutes would be very important
Yes.
to be accurate on that, would they not?
That's right.
So is there an effort made to make sure that that time clock remains accurate for the purpose of measuring what everyone gets paid?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, was that time clock accurate on the night of June the 12th?
Yes.
And were you able to see if Mr. Goldman was eating anything that night when you saw him sitting with Mr. DeBello and the other gentleman?
No, John and Richard were having dinner, but Ron wasn't.
Did you notice whether Ron was drinking anything?
I don't remember.
Did you know him to drink mineral water at the Mezzaluna frequently?
Yes.
Was that his pretty much drink of choice?
That was his drink of choice.
What was your understanding of the nature of the relationship between Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown?
My understanding of it was that it was very casual at most.
In other words, did you ever come to the understanding that they were lovers?
No.
Just knew each other?
Yes.
Do you recall whether or not do you have any present recollection as to whether or not they hugged each other when they saw each other that night?
No.
Do you have any present recollection as to whether they exchanged a kiss on the cheek that night?
No, I wasn't paying attention to that.
Oh, one more thing. With respect to this time card, do you recognize any of the handwriting at the bottom of that card?
Yes.
And what is it you recognize?
I see my handwriting and someone else's handwriting.
Where's your handwriting?
My handwriting is in the bottom left, and
The bottom
the
left
bottom
as we
right.
face it, or the bottom?
It's at the bottom of the time card on the left side.
What number is that?
It's crossed out, and then there's a corrected number on the right-hand side on the bottom, 2650.
Is that your handwriting?
Yes.
Because you totaled that card.
Yes.
I have nothing further.
Any recross, Mr. Shapiro?
Just very, very briefly, did you ever personally ask Nicole Brown Simpson what her relationship was with Ronald Goldman?
No.
Did you ever ask Ronald Goldman what his relationship was with Nicole Brown Simpson?
No.
Thank you. Nothing further.
All right, Ms. Crawford, just one quick question. You testified that Tia was the server reflected on the credit card receipt or on the dinner receipt. Was that Tia Gavin?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Crawford, I'm going to excuse you from further attendance today. I'm going to direct you not to discuss your testimony with anybody other than the lawyers in the case until the case is over. All right, thank you very much for coming in.
If you don't mind, before we excuse her, may I confer with counsel?
Certainly, don't go away. Ms. Clark.
Briefly identify and authenticate this exhibit that is shown to counsel. And that's if you mark People's Manslaughter, People's 37.
All right, People's 37 chart reflecting,
This is the time by Ron Goldman.
all right.
Showing you People's 37, Ms. Crawford. Do you recognize what we're showing here?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. And if I might ask you one additional question.
Yes.
Do you see these initials here, KC?
Yes.
Are those yours?
Those are mine.
You put those on there?
Yes.
Thank you, Ron.
Any questions as to the initials?
No, thank you very much, Ms. Crawford.
All right, Ms. Crawford, thank you very much. Next witness.
Thank you. If you'd like to recall Tia Gavin briefly.
All right. Yes. Would you approach the witness stand again, please? All right, Ms. Gavin, we released you as a witness, so I have to have you resworn.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you may give in the cause of the truth, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please have a seat. The witness stand and state to say your first and last name for the record.
Tia, T-I-A, Gavin, G-A-V-I-N.
Ms. Clark.
Thank you, Your Honor. Show me what has been marked as People's 33. Do you recognize what I'm showing you?
It's a check from our restaurant.
Okay. And remember we talked about the NCR, or did we talk to you about that?
Yes.
Okay. And is that a machine where you said you punched in the order and
Yeah.
then it would total up?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recognize that particular one?
It looks like it would be right for that table, for the Browns table. I mean, I don't remember ever having seen the check since that evening, so I mean, I wouldn't remember exactly, but it certainly looks very appropriate for 10 people, and it's got the bottle of Gatnar on it that I mentioned before. And so it looks right.
So that appears to be the piece of paper that NCR prints out for the night of June the 12th when you served Nicole Brown and her party.
Yes. Oh, and it's the right table number as well. I just noticed. Yes.
So you're sure that's the one?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
see your name on it too,
Yes.
indicating that you were the server?
Yes.
And so does that accurately indicate the food that was served to that party?
It would. Yes.
You just told us that the number of people in the party numbered 10,
Yes.
but it shows there that the number of guests was 9. Can you explain to us why?
Often when we wait on children, since they don't order full orders of food, we'll count 2 little children as 1 adult.
Now, have I ever shown you this piece of paper before?
No.
Have we ever discussed this piece of paper before?
No.
Right now is the first time.
Yes.
By the way, do you happen to know whether or not the time and date stamp by that NCR machine on that piece of paper is accurate or not?
It says June 13th, 94, 7:04 a.m. So it couldn't be correct if it says a.m.
And the date that you
And-
served Nicole Brown and her party, the only time you ever served them, that was June the 12th, wasn't it?
That's correct.
So both the date and the time are wrong on that.
Yes.
Now, when you close out the bill, in other words, when you total it up,
Mm-hmm.
does it stamp again?
Yes.
Can you turn it over?
Mm-hmm.
You see at the top of that bill?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to put it on the monitor so I can follow along what you're saying. You don't mind? You'll be able to see it on the monitor right by you. Okay. See at the top of that document where it says June 13th, 8:18 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay, and you indicated before that's not accurate. You did not complete serving them dinner at 8:18 a.m.
No.
Okay. But that time indicates to you that that's when you rang up the total?
Up here where it says cash at the very top,
Right.
I believe that would be the time that the check was cashed out, which would be after it would be paid, if the time were correct. But that when the time prints up there, if the time were correct, it would be printing up the time that I was cashing out the bill, which would mean that the bill was paid and that they had presumably left.
Now, they may not have left right
No,
away.
or they just paid their bill and I had closed it out.
Now, the fact that you have cash up there, does that mean that they paid you in cash?
No, we close out all the checks to cash.
Now, I'm showing you what's been marked as People's 34. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do. It's a credit card receipt from our restaurant.
See the amount of $179.95?
Yes?
That was the same amount on People's 33 that you just saw?
Yes, it was.
So does this reflect the method of actual payment for the bill by Nicole Brown?
Yes, it would.
And what was the method of payment?
Credit card and American Express.
And the signature appears to be that of Nicole Brown?
It says Nicole Brown, yes.
Okay. Is it your habit and custom to give this receipt to the customer, have them fill in the gratuity, and total it, and then sign it?
Yes.
See the timestamp there? 7:12 p.m.?
Yes.
Is that in fact when Nicole and her party left or paid?
No, they couldn't have. They arrived at 6:45-ish, so
So this time is also inaccurate.
yes.
Now, you earlier indicated, with respect to your time card, been marked previously as People's 26, 36? Her time card? No, that's wrong. 28? Thanks, Steve. Was she up Sunday? You indicated that is this your time card, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. You indicated earlier that you clocked in on Sunday, June the 12th at 5:02 and clocked out at 9:58. Is that time clock accurate?
Yes, it is.
And those times reflected on your time card are accurate?
Yes, and yeah, we came in at 4:30. I mean, the waiters were staggered. You're scheduled at 4:35 and 5:30. So, besides the fact that this is the way my memory is, that's the way we were scheduled to
And so
arrive.
you know that it's accurate?
Yes, because I was scheduled to arrive then. So,
Thank you very much. I'd ask at this time, Your Honor, if I may substitute this original time card for the Xerox copy I'd previously used. I've been given permission. Ms. Luna will release these for a court exhibit.
All right. Sorted. Thank you, Counsel.
I'm
All
nothing
right, do anything further from Ms. Gavin?
Nothing further.
Mr. Shapiro?
No, thank you, Ms. Gavin, please. Mrs. Gavin.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Gavin. All right, let's take a brief 15-minute court reporter recess. We'll resume at 3:30.